Hey, it's Angie with News OK. I am here at the Home and Garden Show, and sitting beside me is Shane Tallant. He is a great talent. He's actually the host of Design to Sell. Now, obviously, it's hard economic times right now. Maybe people are wanting to sell their home in the dead of winter, which is probably a tough time anyway. But tell us, what are some tips, since obviously you have experience in this?
Yeah, I absolutely do. You mentioned the winter time, and people do buy homes 365 days a year. So I tell people, don't be afraid to list your home. If for whatever the situation presents itself, that you've got to move, you're being relocated, or you can't afford it, whatever it is, don't be afraid to list your home, because just as many people are listing their homes as there are buying their homes. So you mentioned the winter time, don't be afraid of that, number one. Number two is, no matter what the season or what the situation, always do your best to make sure your house is presented in its best light. And I don't mean light as like overhead lighting or light fixtures. I mean, like, if you have $500 to spend, there's something you can do for $500. If you have $5,000, you can do stuff for $5,000. If you have $50,000, it's just depending on what you have available to you without, stretching yourself too far financially. And even for free, I mean, you can declutter your home for $20 buying plastic bins at the Container Store and, getting this stuff up off the floor so people come in for the open house and they can see the home and not that it's lived in and your stacks of magazines and tennis shoes and things like that.
I've even heard take down personal photos.
Yeah, that's one. Yes, you're supposed to depersonalize the house as much as possible, but I don't ever feel comfortable when it's completely depersonalized. When you're hosting an open house, the name itself says open house, so obviously someone lives there. Right. That 18 by 36 photo that you had, your wedding photo that everyone signed the matting and you have it hanging over your mantle, that can come down because you don't want to distract anyone, and they're going to stop and read all the names and all the cute little messages, but you don't want to distract anyone from what they're really there for, because you have a minimal amount of time to sell the home. And they say within the first 30 to 45 seconds when a buyer comes in or potential buyer comes in, the house is either sold or not. So don't give them any reason to be distracted. Plus, that big photo, like in the obvious spots, above the fireplace, and that's a focal point, or on the main wall in the master bedroom. Don't give them any reason to envision your stuff there. Leave it blank so that they can envision their wedding photo there.
Nice, good point. Okay, increasing the value of your home. Slap a new can of paint on the wall. Does that help? Little things like that.
Well, I wouldn't suggest actually slapping the can of paint on the wall, because that would scratch the existing paint.
All right, you got me.
But you could absolutely put a new coat of paint on the wall that comes from the can, and that's I'm just messing with you. But obviously, a fresh coat of paint on a wall is the cheapest way, aside from decluttering, to increase the value of your home, because people do recognize it, whether it's subconsciously or just the smell of the paint. When it's freshly painted, it now gives a persona that your house is taken care of. And you can do it on the cheap. For $100, you could paint the whole downstairs of your house.
It's like the new car smell, except the new home smell.
Absolutely. Yeah, just don't put those new air fresheners under all this. Don't put those under the couch.
There you go. Now, what if we're looking for our dream home? Do you have any tips on that?
Well, dream home is to each his own, obviously. So one's dream home could be the city that they live in, as opposed to, or their first purchase, or that 5,000 square foot log cabin that they've been dreaming. Like, some of these homes like behind us, there's some amazing things. So to each his own. Obviously, smart purchases in a time like this is a great time to buy homes. But great buying time, unfortunately, also is in a rough economy. So money is tight across the board. For everyone. So whatever your dream home is to you, it only matters to you and your family and your loved ones. So if you have a great opportunity, there are deals out there. And, flipping homes right now is a big thing, because if you might have to hold on to them a little longer than normal when someone's flipping a home, but there are great deals to have that could lead you down that path to buying your dream home.
Exactly. Shane Tallant, thank you so much. He is on Design to Sell on the Home and Garden Network. Thanks so much.